Create a superstar, create your matches, create your arenas, create a championship. All of these things, the creation suite itself in 2K games is always a massive deal. Today on the show, we're going to be going through a lot of the confirmed details regarding creation suite, what you all can expect from 2K22. Hey everybody, welcome back to Assemble. I'm Matt. Great to have you here on the show. Let's go. Let's get into a creation suite. We're going to be talking about the Brian Mazik interview that Brian hosted with Lionel Jinx, the WWE 2K22 creative director, and the WWE 2K22 art director, Christina Pham. Brian did a great job in the interview. I'll put a link into the full video in the description below so you guys can go check it out because there's a ton of information in there. But what we're going to be gathering today is some of the main things and takeaways from that interview as it pertains to the creation suite. Just like the thumbnail suggested here, yes, cross-platform creation confirmed. This means that if you are playing on your PlayStation and you have a custom creation, that can be shared across PC and Xbox platforms as well, and vice versa. This is massive, and this is a big deal for players, and especially for those that make the awesome creations out there. This is a huge deal because the creation suite, it allows us and allows players, if there's going to be something really cool on the PlayStation side, on the PC creation side, normally it doesn't get shared across the other platforms. I can't download the awesome CM Punk render on the PC version because I'm playing on my Xbox, or specific arenas that are being created by the creators out there, and it can't be shared across the PlayStation. That has now been removed. That barrier is now gone. If there are creators out there that are making amazing content for championships, for arenas, for superstars, for attires, all of that stuff, that is all going to be able to be shared regardless of the platform you're on. I want to really highlight this and kick this episode off with that, guys, because that is a massive deal. It's very limiting when you are playing the game on your PlayStation, on your Xbox, or on your PC, and you're not getting the full breadth of the creations. Or if you're like me, you would go onto your PS4 for 2K19 or 2K20, and you're looking for the latest attires, you're looking for a AEW star that you want to play as, and you want to download, and you're not seeing either a quality creation in there, or there isn't one available. And now, because you're going to be taking all of the platforms, all of the creation suites, and you're unlocking it, and it's going to be everywhere, that's going to be bigger for community creations. That's going to be bigger for just community involvement and engagement in general. It's a huge win. So we know about the creation suite based off of 2K's comments about custom creation. We have the full breadth of custom creation suite available. It's going to be very detailed, and that's based off the interviews that Lionel Jinx has been doing around in the community in the last couple of days. So we can expect very detailed custom creations based off of the screenshots and the trailers that we have seen lately. It's looked very kind of basic, generic, but it does have the depth that players are expecting from previous games. Something that is not in the game this year is going to be Create a Finisher. Create a Finisher is confirmed not in this year's game. Lionel Jinx did make the comment about Create a Finisher, and that it really does seem to come down to quantity and quality. There's a ton of time and resources and it takes to put in these features and these modes, and a lot of Lionel's feedback when asked questions by Brian Mazik about, like, you know, why is a certain feature in the game or not in the game, a lot of it is very straightforward, and it's that they look at the data and the numbers over time of like how much a certain feature is being utilized in the game or not utilized, and to what extent is it being utilized. So when they look at something like Create a Finisher, they're looking at it saying, we can't really put all the emphasis and resources into that mode. As much as some fans really want it, it's not being utilized to its fullest in the past or to the full depth of it, and it takes a lot of energy and a lot of resources to make that mode. Another feature, another mode within Creation Suite that is not going to be in 2K22, Create a Story. Create a Story will not be in this year's game. Similar reasons given by the 2K creative team, that it's time, it's resources, and it's kind of the return on that investment for what they're seeing. We're not going to have Create a Story in there. It's a bummer because so many fans are loving to be able to create that custom story element to it, making it really wacky, making it really cool, going up and posting in custom creations. I love that stuff too. But what they were seeing in Lionel's feedback in the multiple interviews is that you're seeing a lot of people download say a custom story or create a finisher, they're downloading it, but they're not creating it themselves. And because of that, they're not putting the time and energy into those modes. So create a story, unfortunately, is not in 2K22. Now, two things that seem to be confirmed, and I say seem to be confirmed because they have not been denied: create a championship and create an arena. Brian specifically asked about those two modes and said, I assume that those are going to be in the game, and they basically just nodded to it. I think that that's very, very likely, and I don't think that they would take those away. Create a championship was something that, if you remember, was not in 2K20 at the beginning and then had to get patched in later, and fans were very, very vocal and very upset and confused why that feature was removed from the game when we've had it forever. And Create Arena is a massive staple of the game. We need that in our creation suite. We need to be able to create the AEW arena or all the WrestleMania arenas, or because we're getting into more of the WCW stuff with NWO, we need more WCW arenas. Create an arena, massive feature. Create a championship, massive feature. They will be in the game. I want to add a quote here from Lionel Jinx as well in the interview, and he said, quote, "By giving people too much freedom, you're messing with quality." And I'm actually glad that he said this, and this is alluding to, you know, adding in create a story, create a finisher, create an arena, create a championship, and having like the most maxed out creation suite ever. It's what we want, but it's not always possible. And by making a statement like this, I think it's just good that he's able to come out and say, look, we could give you everything, but it's going to sacrifice a lot of the quality. And he did mention in his interview with Brian Mazik about how, like, you know, you don't want articles of clothing glitching out and cutting through everybody. You want it to look really, really good. So they're trying to set that bar higher for quality and not putting it in for quantity, so that we're not getting stuff that's going to be kind of bad or average. And he also said too, Lionel said that, you know, down the road in future games, it's not like we can't add that or make that a point if people are looking to add that in the game. In Creation Suite also, Randomizer is confirmed to be in the game. So for you to be able to go in, and if you don't want to go and create your own custom superstar, you can hit the Randomizer and it will randomize all the parts and layers together to create a superstar for you. That will be in the game. Lionel made a point of mentioning this because he did say that it is a big feature that people do like to have, is to just see what random creations will actually pop up. And with your custom created superstar, there's also that key component of personas. We've seen this in the trailer and some of the images. You're going to be able to select different personas for your superstar, similar to what they do on the NBA 2K side of things. But that's going to actually kind of change the way your superstar approaches things, their personality traits, basically, for what their persona is going to be. And I think that's a nice added layer to it. It's going to give your superstar, or a creative superstar from maybe from a different brand, maybe from an AEW, maybe an Adam Cole, baby, boom. But maybe we're going to be able to give those different personality traits. And again, it's going to add to them and give them more personality overall during the matches, maybe how they sell, because in interviews too, we've heard about selling being an actual little bit more of a key feature and a little bit more added on to create more heightened drama in the matches themselves. So I think the personality pieces and those personas are going to play a role in the game, and I'm glad they're in there. And the last thing I want to be able to mention to you guys today on the show, and by the way, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for subscribing if you are subscribed to the channel, and if you're new here, good to see you, and if you are longtime community members, awesome having you back. The last thing is a quote made by Lionel Jinx in the interview where he did want to kind of make an overall announcement, and it's actually pretty cool. I'm excited for this, and the Creation Suite folks, people that make all of our creation stuff, are really gonna like. Here it is. Quote, "I'm proud to announce that we have custom images that you can use in the menus. So for a character select screen, you can put your photo of you," in this case he says Brian Mazik, "right next to Seth Rollins. We can upload custom images to the Creation Suite, to the character selection screen. When you create your custom character, let's just say that we want Bryan Danielson in our game, and we want him to go up against Adam Cole in our custom AEW arena. We are going to be able to upload custom image art in there, so that we are not going to have just our create a superstar render as the default, where it goes up against maybe Seth Rollins and they have his artwork there that's already standard. And then that always looks kind of off, right? because a lot of you in the community also mentioned when we first looked at screenshots and we first looked at the trailers, we could see that we were getting the actual superstar rendered images and not what their in-game character actually looks like. And for some, they said, well, I don't really like that. I wish they wouldn't do the actual superstar images, but this changes it. This can mean that for our custom created superstars, we can get accurate images uploaded. That means also that within the creation suite, that people can upload those custom images in there too as a whole bundle. So if you have Bryan Danielson, for example, someone creates him and makes it very accurate, the selection screen image, they can also upload that. And so we would have an accurate image of Danielson in the game. That to me changes it. That makes our roster very large, really accurate, and makes it really, really fun. I thought that was a great point. I hope this helps you guys with understanding what is coming in the custom creation suite. I'm super excited about it. Let me know in the comments below, what are you excited for? What stands out to you for creation suite? Got a lot of news here, more to come. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.